Going back to what you shared earlier, you mentioned that you're also into stock trading. Did I hear that correct? And
Yes,
yeah, how
tama
long have
bro.
you been a stock trader, Coach EJ?
I was introduced in terms of the stock market when I was in fourth year college. Our teacher, Mrs. Pangpang, I can remember. She's our teacher in finance, no, in my course. She introduced stock market at the time through an exercise. Parang it's part of our curriculum na, kunwari, she'll gonna give us a million and then we're gonna trade that using the newspaper. So, syempre, yung
Mm,
newspapers, open prices, closing prices. Kunwari, magta-trade, parang ganon. So, syempre at that time, di ba, wala naman kami masyadong pakialam doon kasi we're just, we just wanted to graduate. But nevertheless, it was my first exposure. But my first dwelling really in the market na being hands-on was maybe after 2 to 3 years of working in the bank. I was in Deutsche Bank before as a financial analyst. And it's a topic and subject that we really regularly study and really regularly exposed with because we are in charge of the P&L of the traders in our kumbaga, in our main branch, which is in New York at the time. No? So we record the trades of their traders in the P&L. And then
mm.
that was really the exposure there, and I was started training. Siguro right now, if you can count out, more or less nasa 6 to 8 years on that range
Okay,
na
tagal na
I've
rin.
been trading
Oo.
in the market. Matagal-tagal na rin yon. So ngayon ay hindi lang Philippine stock market, but I also trade the US market, or I also did crypto, forex lang. I did forex before pero hindi ako masyado nagfo-forex na ngayon eh. But yon, that's about me in terms of trading.
Mm-mm. And yeah, since you mentioned that you've been doing that for around 8 years, so in 8 years, I guess you already have a lot of trades. So I think a nice question to ask would be, what was with all your trades? What was the biggest success that you had? Maybe you invested in a certain company that you didn't expect would skyrocket or something like that. And what lesson did you get out of that experience?
Thank you. That's a wonderful question, Rufino. If I can recall the trades that I had, the one of the best trades that I really had was trades that are, number one, I am grounded with. Ibig sabihin, I had a really good plan.
Mm-mm.
Trades that are I was really patient too. Ibig sabihin, I was able to hold the stock for the longest term. And also having a certain structure. So if I can remember it right, one was Double Dragon. I can remember it's an IPO company with Tony Tan Katchong and the owner of Mang Inasal in Jap. I held 100,000 shares and it was an IPO. So for me, it was a fundamental buy. Ibig sabihin, I bought the company because it's a really good business and I held it for the longest term and I made good money out of it, diba? So it IPO'd around 150 to 2 pesos and it went as high as 80 pesos in a span of 3 to 5 years, diba? But I didn't able to sell at on the top talaga, yung parang sobrang maximize ko. But nevertheless, money is money, so that's one. Another maybe is Bitcoin. I was able to hold Bitcoin when it was cheaper. Not like insanely cheaper, but around 2014, 2015, I was able to buy shares. It was really low. And, hindi naman ganun kalaki nilagay ko doon, but I really took it as a lesson that if you actually had the patience in terms of trading, maganda yung direction. And that was one of the biggest trades in terms of gains that I really made. No? Another siguro is yung dito. When
Mm.
the market went down during the coronavirus around March of 2020, I started buying dito stocks, knowing that number one, there's a hype on it because I previously bought Double Dragon. So it's very similar in terms of, for me, in terms of the management and the fundamental analysis behind. So for me, it was kind of similar. So I bought the company. And looking at Dito right now, it went up right now for around 10x, or they call it baggers in trading terms, or it went 1,000% or 10x in terms of valuation. So valuation in terms of price valuation. So yeah, that was one of the biggest trades that I have. In terms of losses, yeah, definitely there's a lot, but one of the biggest there is when I held to a stock, a company that was on a mining sector, and that was a ferro nickel, right? And mining company, as we know, really cyclical in nature. It's not something na tuloy-tuloy lang siya, same with a manufacturing or food industry, but it's very cyclical in nature. And I was holding to the stock because I wasn't, kumbaga, I didn't hold my structure of really cutting losses or selling when I feel that there's a huge loss already. But I held to the stock because number one, I have a lot of volume onto the stock. Ibig sabihin malaking na investment. Number two, parang I revenge traded eh. Ibig sabihin nun, gusto ko maging tama, 'di ba? I wanna be right, not I wanna be make money. Kasi sometimes the market really is siya yung tama eh, di ba? Because I just wanna stick on what I want to be right, di ba? Not on the facts, which is it's reversing already, what the chart is telling me. So I lost a lot of money there. So 6-digit paper loss, which is made realize eventually when I made the cut. So yun. So both losing and making money for the past 7 to 8 years. Marami madugo din, di ba? So yeah, there's a lot of learning behind. It's still to date, I make mistakes. Still to date, I'm learning as well and studying as well continuously. So, ganun talaga sa trading.
Mm-mm. Yeah, the I guess the biggest takeaway we could get from there is the importance of honoring your structure or maybe your trading plan, because I'm guilty of that as well. I remember when I would trade forex, when for the trades that I did not honor my structure, it usually does not end well. And for the trades that wherein I honored the structure, my trading plan, it really went well. And yeah, I would like to add to that. No, my next question would be, what were some things you wished Coach EJ that you knew when you were just starting out with stock trading?
All right. Siguro more patience, more structure. It's really on knowing that it's not about trading is not about pagalingan, but trading is about mindset and structure. So for me, it's 80% structure, 20% skills. Regardless of gaano ka kagaling, pero you don't have the patience, you don't stick to their structure, you don't learn from your mistakes, hindi ka mag-i-improve eh. So it's really sticking on the mindset, paulit-ulit basics. So I think that would be, because when I was starting, parang feeling ko, galing ko na, sumamba lang pala kasi nga bullish yung market. So I can be egoistic or yung parang yung lumaki yung ulo ko in terms of magaling na ako, but nevertheless what I like about the market, it would really ground you, di ba, if you're not grounded. So the losses are really real. So yun, even up to date, di ba, we have that learning, but we want to have that kind of kumbaga reminder, no, that the market is always right. And siguro yun. And then second maybe is that if you can just go back, no, in terms of my journey in terms of trading or entrepreneurship, it's really starting young. Very important, especially pag bata ka pa, di ba? You can just afford to risk a lot of things, your time, your money. Kasi bata ka pa lang, you can just, kumbaga, recoup naman anytime. Eh. Compare if you're 30 or 40, di ba? Medyo mahirap na. But when you were starting, you're Gen Z, you're a millennial right now, you wanna start early. I think that's one of the best things that you could do, because in terms of trading or entrepreneurship or leadership, no, it's about starting young and starting early, because you only learn talaga by experience. I think that's the highest form of learning. Repetition, di ba? The more you fail, the more you learn, di ba?
Mm.
So for me, it's really about repetition, starting young, and failing fast, and then learning from the experience of other people. Kasi the wiser people would always learn from the mistakes of others. So di mo na kailangan pagdaanan lahat ng ginawa ng mga nauna sa'yo, di ba? But you can just absorb whatever they are telling you. And then, yun na lang. It's a shortcut kung isipin mo eh, di ba? But nevertheless, may iba na gusto talaga may experience. So, nasa sayo na rin yun. But starting young is one of the best gift you can do to yourself.
And yeah, I hope this would, prompt Gen Z kids like me to try it out. And yeah, of course, before you guys actually do that, please know that only invest what you are willing to lose. No, don't be like some people who invest their life savings or their retirement fund. Please don't do that. We highly discourage that. And yeah, siguro to end this off, if some people are ever curious about being able to invest in the stock market passively, is there a way that they could do that, Coach EJ?
Yeah, definitely, bro. There's a lot of ways to starting in the stock market. No, you can be an active trader, active investor. But the easiest for me, especially if you were starting, wala ka pa talaga, zero pa talaga. investing in the stock market passively through a lot of things. Meron tayong mutual fund, meron tayong UITF, meron tayong ETF. There's a lot actually, but what I really like the best, especially if you're a beginner, is a product or investment method called the VUL or the Variable Unit Link. Why? Because number one, kung hindi ka pa marunong magtabi, it creates you a structure where you can regularly save. And investing naman is about your consistency, not about your parang iba kasi parang agad-agad all in, hindi naman
Mm-mm.
maituloy, di ba? Parang ano lang yan, parang yung promise natin sa sarili natin in January, di ba, na magda-diet na or gonna create a new habit pero hindi natuloy eh. So investing in a VUL help you create that structure na madisiplina yung sarili mo kasi regularly you're gonna put money. Number two, you're not gonna do anything about it because the money is handled by a fund manager, an expert that professionally manages your account 24/7 na wala ka nang gagawin, di ba? And number three, you don't really, kumbaga, also you don't need no na parang pag-aralan pa kung ano-ano kasi nga diversified din. So in terms of risk, mas mababa yung risk mo kaysa mag-trade ka. When you trade kasi at least in the stock market, Philippine stock market, you need 8K to trade at least per stock. But syempre kung isa lang yung binili mo, masyadong risky yun compared to you bought a fund or an index or a VUL na top 30 na siya or top 10 na siya. So very less yung risk compared talaga sa specific individual stocks. Then number three, if you're someone na hindi pa nakakapag-build ng foundation or security, when I say foundation, yun yung mas importante ngayon when you were starting, no? Like getting your life insurance, your health insurance, or emergency funds. That's a very vital part before you start anything else. So it gives you the effect of parang may 3-in-1 coffee ka na ibig sabihin nun, maingat ka na, protektado ka pa, and then pwede mo pang maituloy yon kasi alam natin na there's a structure that can help you make your investment consistent. So for me, the VUL product is one of the best starter kit talaga sa mga taong gusto mag-umpisa.
And yeah, personally, I agree with that. And I'm speaking out of experience because, my first ever investment, guys, is VUL. I got my VUL back 2019, and I was 16 back then, and I'm already 18. So it's been around 2 years. And yeah, my money has grown a lot. And yeah, I'm also insured because of it. So I think it's something you guys could consider if you're thinking of ever getting your first investment. I'm sure that VUL is probably a good match for you if the things that Coach EJ just shared are what you are after. And yeah, to those who made it this far in the video, I left the best question for last for everyone, and that is Coach EJ, if you were to go back in time and you become an 80-year-old again, what would you do differently, if ever?
Sige, no. If I can just time travel and talk to my old self, no. Maybe if there's a way that I can show him of the future, or I don't know, like maybe pep talk the guy. It's really creating good habits when I'm still younger, in a younger state, no. So kasi dati, just to let you know, when I was siguro 18, most of my time is really spent on computer games eh. So kasi nagbabantay ako ng store. So the way to compensate me is that parang may Game Boy ako, may PlayStation ako. So, okay naman kasi I've learned naman some things din. Gumaling ako sa paglalaro. But nevertheless, looking right now, naisip ko, ang dami palang nasayang na oras, no? Na if I can just start earlier, I can be in a position na maybe I'm more financially successful, maybe I'm more kumbaga growth-oriented on a younger age. And siguro hindi mas mahirap kasi I started kasi becoming conscious about success habits, changing myself at the age of 26 eh. Imagine. So, right now I'm 32. So, medyo bago pa lang, 6-7 years pa lang. Eh. So, at the age of maybe younger, 14 if that's possible. Labihin mo na 18, di ba? So number one is creating a good habit. siguro changing my way of entertainment kasi that's a very vital thing. Dati di pa uso yung Facebook at YouTube, no? But it's really like maybe okay lang maglaro, okay lang mag-games, mag-video games, but what I want to do is that gagawin ko siyang parang structure siya. For example, Sunday lang ako maglalaro or may mga specific time talaga, not every day. Every day ako dati eh. So maybe that's number one. Structuring my time. Number two is that changing yung mga entertainment ko. Maybe it's dati if my fun for me is just watching videos, movies, and just playing games. Maybe I can add reading a book, meeting new people, challenging myself, or at least exercising. Hindi ako nag-exercise dati eh. So I think that's very important. Um, Another thing maybe is that starting something, maybe a business, kahit maliit lang, or maybe interning to someone na alam ko might be very successful. Hindi naman insanely successful, like billionaire, but at least alam ko lang na higher than my level right now, and exposing myself to yung mga positive mindset people or entrepreneurs para alam ko, at least nahawaan ako on a younger age, no? So that could be, and maybe if I'm in school, I'm gonna attend school not because of grades, but I'm gonna attend school because I know I wanna learn, I wanna create a network, and maybe practice selling, di ba? So, yan yung hindi ko nagagawa dati kasi nahiya ako eh. Ayoko magbenta. But for me, if you were young, I think one of the most important skills that you need to do is, alam mo, learn sales and experience rejection at a early young age. Kasi for me, rejection, failure, these are the things that can strengthen you eh, di ba? Can actually help you grow further. So, pag matanda ka na, di ba? So, hindi ka na flaky. Or kumbaga, sanay ka na sa rejection, sanay ka na sa failure. So, you can create better decisions. Kasi I think it's more difficult to fail or alam mo yun, it's more difficult to fail when you were at 40s, 30s, or 50s when you have a family already. It's easier to fail when you were 18, 20, 25, di ba, below 30s because sabi ko nga, ang dami pang oras para mag-recover eh. So, that could be something that you wanna really think of. Baga, if you can just talk to my younger age self, di ba? And yun, start experiencing growth mindset at an early young age. Kaya nga, yung ginagawa natin, right? So, just to plug also to people who's watching right now that we do internship program. So, hindi to iba, hindi to kagaya ng nag-internship ako dati sa sa Davao Light. Ang trabaho ko taga-stapler. So, at saka taga-kain ng pagkain, yung mga natitira sa yung mga, alam mo sa office, maraming mga pagkain. But siguro in terms of internship, something that alam ko I can grow as fast as possible. Di ba? The one that we do, the CEO internship program where we OJT mga Gen Z, no, na how can they experience business talaga real time, teach them how to do coaching, teach them how to do communication, teach them how to sell, teach them how to lead, teach them how to be an entrepreneur at a very young age on the comforts of their home. Very, very, kumbaga, very, very practical, very, very, kumbaga, I think very, very relevant nowadays, no? So, I think yun, and I've seen people, no, like, si Coach Ana, di ba, yung when she was starting at the age of 18 at if I'm not mistaken, and at that time, nag-aaral pa siya, at the same time, financial planner na siya. So right now, seeing her at the very young age of, I don't know, 20 ba si Coach Ana or 21?
Yeah, she's
She,
20.
she's been handling right now like a team na way matatanda sa kanya, di ba? But still having that kind of posture, that leadership na even though bata ka, people, you command respect, and at the same time, kahit bata ka, people believe you because, you know, you grow yourself na hindi na halata yung edad mo. Di ba? So you look young, but, you know, when people talk to you, feel nila, ang tanda-tanda mo na, but, you know, you're very young. So I think that's it, di ba? Pero nevertheless, wala na akong magagawa. Hindi ko na mababata yung self ko. But for young people there who's watching, no, sa mga friends ni Rophe or mga followers ni Rophe. So yun, start early, start sales, start something. So if you want to be part of this CEO internship program, you can talk to Rophe. You can send your resume and letter of intent or video of intent. Then we can, when we do BOPs or business opportunity programs, you can just attend so that you can explore, or when we have meetings, you can attend so that you have a parang experience if this is something that you want, this is something relevant for you, or this is something exciting for you. Then let's see what will happen. Then let's qualify you if this is for you or not. Parang ganun. So
Yeah, and thank you so much, Coach EJ, for adding so much value to all of us this afternoon. And perhaps there are some people who would like to connect with you. How could they connect with you on social media, Coach EJ?
yeah, so if they want to follow my page or contents, just search at EJ Bastes. So EJBASTES. So at EJ Bastes lang. So I have my Instagram account, my Facebook account, my wala pang YouTube but I'm gonna launch soon enough. Yeah, EJ Bastes lang. I have also Twitter, so they can just chat me or whatever they need or seek help to or advice.
Mm-mm. And yeah, I'll be placing his links in the description below. So go check it out, guys. And yeah, thank you so much for making it this far, everyone. And have an awesome day ahead. Peace out.
Yes, thank